Good day and welcome back to another Dbz Dokkan battle video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the performance of AGL Zamasu in the Omega Shenron Red Zone event. So obviously big thing here is we want to see just how basically the whole event works with Zamasu in the team. Get a good feel of just how good he is. Now here's the thing, Zamasu is going to be good in this event. Zamasu is going to be good in pretty much any event. Zamasu is basically, for lack of a better term, one of the best, if not, I think top 5 or top 3 tanks in the game. And that just does a lot of really good stuff. Healing, stacking defense, just plenty of really good stuff. So AGL Zamasu, honestly, just to run through him a little bit quickly, get through all the details. Basically an excellent unit. A couple really strong abilities that he has that kind of make him a fan favorite. So in his base form, his standard form, which he's in for only one turn usually, he has 40% damage reduction. He also has, of course, as well, the ability to raise his defense, but he also heals a lot. Like he heals 30% health, which is quite a considerable chunk. A lot of people, for some reason, have complained about the healing, like as if there's some, kind of huge issue with healing, like it prevents him from hitting other health requirements. I'm not exactly certain his healing is that strong. I think it's, honestly speaking, I don't think it's that strong at all, honestly. So yeah, I think it's just one of those things. Now, in terms of the rest, so in terms of the rest of his kit, he transforms, he gets 50% damage reduction, which is pretty big, and on top of that 50% damage reduction, he now heals a little bit less. So not like in a negative way, he does heal a little bit less, but because he's so much stronger defensively, you don't really have to have like a huge tremendous amount of healing, because he's way stronger defensively. Yeah, 50% damage reduction, that ability to fire off lots of additional attacks that stack your defense. So in reality he's really quite solid, especially when it comes to offensive output. It goes up quite a lot. He goes from like 3 million, 4 million to like 7, 8 million, which is really solid. So that's good. He also obviously likes to thrive in that first slot. So he likes to get hits, and then obviously that spawns an additional super attack, which allows him to, stack his defense a bit faster. So that is something that he does enjoy, and it is something that is pretty good for him. So yeah, obviously, as you can see here, I would suggest putting him in that first slot, because yes, he can get a lot stronger, and his output can go up quite a bit. Then we have the final form, or the final transformation, the corrupted, merged, half mutant, melted multi-man Zamasu. And this one has a high chance of crit, which is pretty big. Obviously from an offensive standpoint, he loses some damage reduction, so it goes from 50% to 30%, and he will also lose some defense. So if you are basically around the 500k defense mark, he will drop down to around like 410, 380, and then he also will push and move as well, going to around about the 14 or 15 million mark in terms of offensive output, which is obviously very good. So yeah, I would say he looks really solid. Obviously link leveling and links play a significant component of this, big bad bosses being a very crucial link for him. Outside of that, not too much. Keys, not really a big problem for him. Everything else seems fine. I wouldn't say there's a priority link outside of big bad bosses, but yeah, definitely something you can take a look at and obviously work towards as well. So of course, for me, I would say when I look at things, that there's definitely an incredibly solid unit here. I think we've seen him in tons of content now, and yeah, he's excelled in every single one. So for me, there's not a huge kind of problem with his performance. I think he's just a cornerstone unit basically for every single team. Even at lower percentages, it's very difficult, obviously, sometimes when you're looking at a rainbow unit that's level 10 links, etc, etc. But yeah, even when you get to like a lower percentage, maybe 1 dupe, maybe even 55%, he does perform well. I will say there's obviously a vast drop off, especially in terms of speed. Zamasu's that are 55%, and that have level 1 or level 2 links or whatever, they are going to need time to get to the same space. That's the main thing it removes, is a lot of the time factor. So this is where things become very important, is the fact that Zamasu can just remove that time element from a lot of the like stacking and everything that he needs to do before he gets up to an incredibly strong point. I mean, you can see here, very strong defensively. Obviously got time advantage against the second phase, so that's what's really going to lead to him being a good unit. That ability to be really strong in the first initial phase, that ability to have time advantage in the second one, and then yeah, he's looking really quite good now going into the final phase. Now the big thing with Syn Shenron comparative to other red zones, just to kind of disclaimer it, Syn Shenron fires off one very super ultra mega big super attack, and this is something that you need to be aware of. At the end of every 2 turns, Omega Shenron basically fires a guaranteed super huge super attack that does very big damage, and yeah, that it can cause problems for a lot of teams. Now Zamasu, the goal would be to put him in the way of the damage. He would tank it quite well. He would take a lot of damage, but we're talking like not 600k maybe, but like probably 400k, 500k. Like, it would be a very sizable chunk of damage, but he would survive it. Depending obviously on your team's health, it would be very good for him. So this is something you do need to be aware of. Are you going to move him out of that first slot, and then are you going to place him in the final slot to potentially take that super attack? Now you only have to do that if you know the countdown time is going to occur. So like I say, every 2 turns. Yeah, so that's just something to be aware of. That's just something to be on top of, and it's just an important factor when you come to evaluating Zamasu and how well he does. Like I said though, with that being said, he does a great job overall. I think he's a very, very impressive unit, and I think all of his forms have a role. The merged or mutated Zamasu is pretty good when it comes to just dealing damage, and I think his damage can be clutch. It can be very, very important, so it's definitely something I would honestly suggest. But yeah, you can see here, when you take a look at him, that he's going to do some big damage, some good damage. 14 mil is very, very solid. I say solid, but it's exceptional. And he's got that crit chance, so yeah, manages to wrap things up. That's going to be it from me. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, you can leave a like. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the next one. So until then, of course, as always, thanks, stay safe, and yeah, see you next time. Bye.